All right, so I'm sitting inside of a 2018 Honda CRV. This is the touring model. It's a two-wheel drive model here. I'm going to start you over on the left side and just kind of walk you through some features on the car. So the first things you're going to see right here are your auto up-down windows. Next up, you're going to see your window locks, followed by your door locks, and then your mirror controls. Mirror controls are pretty simple, left and right, and then affect it with a tab. I'm going to jump over here onto the dash. So the top left button you're seeing with the green light right now, that's your road departure mitigation system, so I can turn that on and off. Whenever it's on, if I veer off the shoulder of the road, it'll beep at me and then it'll shake the steering wheel to kind of alert me and hopefully wake me up. You'll see that you also have a trunk release right here, so you can pop that open whenever you'd like, just needs to be unlocked. Down here, you'll see this is your collision mitigated braking system. So what that is in the event that it's looking like you're going to hit a car from behind and you haven't braked yet, the car can detect that car with a radar down in the grill and can actually brake the car for you. Right here, you're going to notice this is going to be your vehicle stability assist. This works with your traction control. This is always on unless you turn it off. The only time you'd want to turn this off is if you were stuck in the mud and wanted to spin your tires. What this technology is if I lose traction on one tire, it'll transfer more power over to the other tire to help correct a skid. So that's how that works. Let's jump up onto the steering wheel here. Okay, so on the left side, first you can see is your Bluetooth control. So I've got to answer a call, to hang up a call or go back. And then using my voice command, this will work in a couple different settings. So this works for making phone calls. This works for my navigation if I need to make requests as far as, navigate to this destination, that sort of thing. I believe it even works for your fan if you want to affect the AC. This also works, I can press it and hold it until I hear the beep for Siri. And ask Siri to do anything if I have an iPhone, so keep that in mind too. The I button right here is actually going to toggle through up here on the screen. So whenever I press it, you're going to notice that you're going to see some different screens. So my turn-by-turn direction, an alertness monitor that keeps track of the car and me. If I want my oil life, if I want to see what audio I'm listening to, if I want to jump over to some Bluetooth controls, if I want to switch to kilometers an hour. So that's what this menu is right here, and that's what I'm using right there. My left and right buttons will jump between like my favorite stations, or if I want to jump tracks, whether it be something I'm listening to streaming, Bluetooth, or if I have something plugged into like the USB, like a USB drive. That's what these are. Up and down is going to change between like FM, AM, and you'll see it's changing up here right now, so you can see what I'm doing, pressing up and down. My volume controls. This is really cool. I like this about the CRV. I can tap up and down, or I can drag my finger up and down. So you can see right now, dragging up and down, and I'm changing the audio right there. So just a cool thing that this car does. Jumping over to the right side of the steering wheel. So this is where some of your Honda sensing features are. So when I press the main button, that's what's going to arm them. And you'll see ACC and LKS come on up there. That's adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist. Let's start you off with lane keep assist. Lane keep assist is this button right here. Whenever I turn this on, you'll see some dotted lines come on up here. It's using a camera that's up above your rear view mirror. It's going to detect the lines on the road. This works when you're going from 45 miles an hour to 90 miles an hour, and the windshield wipers can't be on. So if it's raining outside, this technology doesn't work. What it does is it detects the lines in the road. When it does, it'll fill in those lines solid. So right now you can see they're kind of hollowed out. When they're solid, it's now reading the road. So if you start to veer a little to the left or the right out of your lane, it'll just center you and keep the car right in the center of the lane. It's real subtle. You probably won't even notice it that much. You can overpower it if you needed to, but it's there just to help you. And that way, in case you started to float out of a lane because you were distracted and looked to the left or right and kind of pulled the wheel a little bit. Adaptive cruise control. So once I get up to speed, I would press the set button, right? Once I've set it to my speed, so let's say I set it to 65, I can press this and set the distance between me and a car in front of me. When I set that, you'll see that this pops up, and that's creating distance or lessening is what I'm doing right now between me and the car in front of me. You'll see the icon of a car in front of you. It's using radar down in the grill to detect the car in front of you and bounce back to us to let us know it's there. So that's how this technology works. This works along with your collision mitigated braking system, so that's what's going on there. Right now in the cluster over here, you can see that over to my left right there, I've got my temperature for the engine. And then over here to the right, you can see that I've got my gas gauge. And you can see this car is completely full. The red little hash mark is up there in case you need questions about reading how that works. Over to the left, I'll show you that it does have auto on-off headlights along with it does have fog lights also. So to set to auto, toggle to where the hash matches up. And these are my fog light controls. So that's how that works. Over on the other side, you'll see my windshield wiper controls. And then if I want to control the back windshield wiper, it's from this toggle switch right here. Onto the touchscreen. So in the touring model, it does come with navigation. The navigation is set up through Garmin. You do get, I believe it's 4 map updates. So they'll update it whenever it's available to you. So just know that that's something that comes with the car. And it's super simple. You'll see it. It's a real simple setup, and you just kind of walk it through it. Those same things you're seeing on the screen, you could use the navigation to get through to prompt yourself to say where to, and then it'll take you to the next step, and so on. So real easy to do. As far as when you get to the map, you can see it. I'm moving it around. I can pinch, I can spread out, things like that. It's exactly what you would expect, just like if you're using your phone. So let's jump back to the home button. Phone-wise, that's where you connect up to Bluetooth. How to connect a phone to Bluetooth. So I want to do that for you and show you. Go to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. From there, I'm going to go to the Bluetooth device list. From there, I'm going to select Add a Bluetooth device down here at the bottom, and then it's going to ask you to turn your phone on and set it to discoverable. If it's an iPhone, you don't have to set it to discoverable. If it's an Android-based phone, you might have to set it to discoverable. And then press continue, and then from there, it'll prompt you on your phone. So that is how you connect up a phone to Bluetooth. I'm going to go back to the settings, though, and show you some other stuff. So a whole bunch of different settings in here that you can get to. Some important ones are going to be under Vehicle right here. If I went through a settings worksheet with you, then you're going to already know about some of this stuff. If you've never purchased a car from me, that's okay. I still want to show you this stuff anyways. So I'm going to scroll down here. If you're wondering where your door lock setups are, so currently the default is when you hit 10 miles an hour, the car automatically locks. A couple different options you can change that to. When you're getting out of the car is going to open all the doors when you open the driver's side door, and you can change that to a couple different options. So I just want you to be aware that's where this is. There is a security relock timer. The walkway auto lock deal is what I like. If I get outside of 10 feet from my car and I haven't locked it, I can turn this on and set it to where it'll automatically lock for me. So that way if I forget or if I think I might have forgot, I don't have to worry about it not being locked. So that's where that feature is also. So you can see there's some cool features in here. And then there's all the settings in when I back all the way out. If you wanted to change the guidelines on the camera, turn them on or off, set some of the audio things to not beep or things like that. So you got a lot of stuff to look through here. Jumping back, audio-wise, I'll show you all your different options. So if I go to source right here, I've got FM, I've got AM. The car comes with 90 days of satellite radio. I do have USB drives that I can plug into. I'll show you where those are here in just a second. So those USB drives are actually right down in this glove box there. You can see the one with the phone. The one with the phone is where you would plug into if you want to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And I'll go over that in just a second. So Bluetooth controls, Pandora controls, pretty simple stuff right there. Jumping back to this. So smartphone connection right here. This is where Android Auto and Apple CarPlay come into play. So if I plug my phone into the USB drive right there, that will light up. It'll either it'll say Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I'll be able to select it. From there, I can pull my phone's navigation up on the screen. I can pull my maps, my messages, my music, everything. If you have an iPhone, it's going to look super familiar. It just looks like the face of your phone, like when you're in your home screen. If you have an Android-based phone, it's going to look like if you've pulled up Google and you have all the cards below and you can see like missed calls and stuff like that, previous navigation, trips, things like that. So super simple, and it's going to be very, I should say, familiar to you. Honda Link is just a place where you can get currently your VIN to your vehicle, maintenance reminders, stuff like that. In the future, it'll be things where you can locate your car, send a text message to someone saying, here's the GPS coordinates to my car, or you'd be able to start it remotely from your phone. But right now, it's just a very simple setup there. And then your app list, this is where some widgets are with like a calculator, things like that, if you just want to look through it. So that's kind of a quick rundown of the touchscreen. Down below, you'll see your AC controls. I can press the climate button and pull a full setup right there, or I can control from down here with all my knobs and everything. This does have dual climate control, so you can see the two, and I can change the temperature either of one or both at the same time if I want. So now you can see I've done that. So to sync them, I press right here, and that controls them both at once. To unsync it, if I want to do them separately, that's how that works. Heated seats are right here, so mine's on right now. You can see I have a control right here and a control right here for my passenger. My parking brake is electronic, so it's just like a regular hand brake, except it's electronic. I put my foot on the brake, I pull up on it to set it. To release it, I put my foot on the brake and I press down to release it. And whenever you're turning it on and off, you'll actually see it'll show up here. So you can see over in the right corner, see that where it's brake and then it just turned off. Now it turned back on here. That's where it is right there. So just so you know what's going on. Brake hold is a kind of a courtesy button. If I'm in stop and go traffic and I have this on, it'll hold the brake for me when I come to a complete stop, even if the car's in drive. So it's more convenient just so if I'm stop and going, I don't have to keep my foot on the brake the entire time if it's kind of wearing my leg out. Econ button will improve gas mileage of the car. How it works is, turn it on, it's going to shut down some electrical systems in the front end of the car, affecting things like the AC unit. It'll blow a little bit less hard. On your accelerator, you won't have as much takeoff and go speed, so just be aware of that. But it does improve gas mileage. So center console, it is flipping up. It does have a sliding tray, and then the tray is also, I can remove it, pop it in backwards in case I want to put a tissue box in here or be able to throw a purse or something down in there, just so it's out of the way. So be aware that you have that available to you. This is a touring model, so it does have leather. This one's going to be the obsidian blue with the gray interior. Part of the system in the touring models, you have a little bit higher powered stereo system, so you can see I have smaller tweeters back here in the back seat additionally too. And then I do have the ventilated seats, or I should say ventilated, like aerated. They're heated up front, but you can see the perforation on them is what I'm talking about. If you have any questions about the car, feel free to reach out. You can always comment on the YouTube video. You can call me at 512-443-4300, or email me at the letter J, and then my last name, Fuller, that's J Fuller at howdyhonda.com. Thank you much.